Hi, boys and girls, and welcome back to PE. Remember, this week is Red Ribbon Week, so there's all the fun dress-up days, ending with the Halloween parade through all three schools on post. So I hope to see you out there, and I'll be waving at you. Okay, so this week is a little bit different. We're kind of doing just a bunch of different stuff, right? We're all dressed up. You can't tell that I'm in my pajamas today because I actually record the day before you see this. So tomorrow you see this, it'll be crazy hair day. Although my hair does look a little crazy today because of the wind. All right, so PE is about physical health, but it's also about nutrition, and we learn about foods. And one of the things I miss the most about being in a regular classroom is that I miss reading to my students. And I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to read to all of you. So we're going to read about pumpkins, and pumpkins are actually a fruit. So we're going to read about that. And then we're going to read a fun story, The Runaway Pumpkin, and learn how they make pumpkin into food. And so we're going to start with our nonfiction book. It says, Welcome Fall Pumpkins. A pumpkin is a type of fruit that can be picked in the fall. We're in the fall right now. Pumpkins are known for their orange color, but pumpkins come in many different colors. They can be white, green, yellow, or red. These white pumpkins are called Lumina pumpkins. I did not know that. Lumina. Reminds me of a moon, right? Kind of like looks like a moon. Some pumpkins can weigh over 1,000 pounds. The record for the heaviest pumpkin is 1,810.5 pounds. The outside of a pumpkin is hard. That part of the pumpkin is called the rind. On top of the pumpkin is a stem. Inside of a pumpkin is filled with pulp. The pulp feels mushy. How many of you have carved a pumpkin and you reach in and you grab all the pulp out? Now you know what it's called. It's called the pulp. The inside of a pumpkin is also filled with seeds. The pulp is the main part of a pumpkin that is used as food. So all that stuff, that ooey gooey stuff, we go, ew, that's what's used for food. In the spring, a pumpkin seed is planted in soil. Soon, a sprout grows out of the seed. Pumpkin seeds will not grow if the ground is too cold. The sprout gets bigger. It becomes the pumpkin vine. Green leaves start to grow out of the vine. A pumpkin vine needs water and sunlight to grow. A pumpkin vine can grow about 30 feet long. That is long. The vine keeps growing. Flowers bloom on the vine. Some of the flowers have tiny buds at the bottom. Each bud is a baby pumpkin. Do you see that? That is the baby pumpkin. It's the start of the fruit. Here it is a little bit bigger. In the fall, the pumpkin is finished growing and ready to harvest. The pumpkin is cut from the vine. The part of the vine that is still attached to the pumpkin becomes the stem. At Halloween, faces are carved into pumpkins to make jack-o'-lanterns. If a candle is placed inside the pumpkin, the face glows. Some people use pumpkins to make pies, soups, or even pancakes. Pumpkin seeds can be toasted for a snack. So that's one of the things I really love about pumpkins. Whenever I carve pumpkins, I save all the seeds and I roast them. And one of my favorite recipes is actually cinnamon sugar. If your moms and dads are going to be cooking some pumpkin seeds, ask them to make some cinnamon sugar. You'll really like them. Pumpkins can be bought on a farm. They can also be found at the grocery store. Next spring, more pumpkin seeds will be planted. In the fall, new pumpkins will be ready to harvest. That's it. So, how many of you knew that pumpkin was a fruit? Yeah, it's a fruit. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so now we're just going to read one for fun, but they do make some food at the end. So we're going to we're going to talk about what food they make at the end. But this is the runaway pumpkin. Once upon a hill, when the wind blew with a chill, feels like today, wandered Buck and Billy Baxter with their little baby sister Lil. And there upon that hillside, growing orange, fat, and fine, the budding Baxters found a pumpkin on a twisty, twirly vine. It was big and it was round, and the boys, their eyes agleam, gave a whoop, a yell, a holler. No finer pumpkin had they seen. And today was Halloween. Yet little Lil was cautious, and of course she tried to warn them, but her bumbling big head brothers snapped the pumpkin from its stem. And as she watched them roll it, at first real slow, but then much faster, little Lil looked down the hill and she foresaw disaster. Okay, look at how fast it's going. Round and round across the ground, making a thumpin' bumpin' sound, came that thumpty bumpty thumpin' bumpin' round a rolly runaway pumpkin. A short way down the hillside, that zooming pumpkin caught the eye of a mucking Mama Baxter who thought of Granny's pumpkin pie. So there's one food that can be cooked with pumpkin pie. Till it busted through her sty, round and round across the ground, making a thumpin' bumpin' sound, came that thumpty bumpty thumpin' bumpin' round a rolly runaway pumpkin. A bit further down the hillside, just beyond the chicken coop, Grandpa Baxter saw that pumpkin and thought of Grammy's pumpkin soup. There's another food that you can make from pumpkin soup. Till it knocked him for a loop. Round and round across the ground, making a thumpin' bumpin' sound, came that thumpty bumpty thumpin' bumpin' round and rolly runaway pumpkin. Now at the bottom of that hillside where that boundin' pumpkin sped, Papa Baxter on his tractor thought of Granny's pumpkin bread. How many of you have had pumpkin bread? It's really good. But Papa Baxter used his head and quickly plowed a pumpkin bed. So at the bottom of the hillside, fat and round upon the ground, that thumpin' bumpin' pumpkin plopped and didn't make another sound. And as pigs and hens and Baxters gathered round where Papa plowed, little Lil, she gathered Granny and pulled her through the waiting crowd. Buck and Billy looked really proud. Then thumpty bumpty thumpin' bumpin', straight to the kitchen went that pumpkin, and soon after came the smell of dear old Granny's cooking something. What do you guys think she's cooking? Maybe pie, maybe bread, maybe soup, maybe all of it. We'll see. Granny stirred and stewed and baked until the bright full moon rose up, and all those hungry Baxters sat themselves right down to sup. Look at all that. Looks like a pumpkin pie. Got all kinds of stuff. Look at all that. Muffins and breads. And at the center of the table, among the soup and bread and pie, sat a grinning jack-o'-lantern with a twinkle in his eye. So remember, the inside is what you use for the food. So once it was all carved out, they carved a jack-o'-lantern. For Lana, Bella, Emma, Hannah, Grace, and all the girls who were on a roll. That's a cute book. So, what are some foods that we can make with pumpkin? Do you remember? Soups and pies and muffins and breads and pie, of course, pie. Which one of those do you think would be your favorite? Pumpkin pie is probably the most popular, but which one do you think you would like the best? For me, I think I'm going to go with bread, pumpkin bread. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.